What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the Maketoys Cupola, their version of a masterpiece Chromedome. So this figure is actually from 2015, quite a bit older, and I did look at the KO of this. That was, I think, BB7 or Yes Model, whatever you want to call them. And that came out a while ago, and there was a whole controversy about whether Maketoys actually sold product over to the KO company, and whether it was really a KO or just a reprint and all of that. So I don't really know the answer to that, but I do know this is the official product. So we're going to take a look at this and see, is it any better than the KO that I had, which is long gone. I don't have it anymore, so I can't do a comparison, unfortunately. But just by feel and memory, I am going to take a look. Here's the vehicle mode. Yes, we're going to start in vehicle mode because we started in robot mode in my previous review. You do have some nice paint here, white and red, some blue here on the front for the headlight, whatever lights they are, some silver here. On the side, you've got these chrome gold wheels, rubber tires, rolls very nicely on those. Nice hefty little thing. Some red paint here. Nothing on the back. Could have benefited from some detail here on the back. It's a little plain. But all in all, some pretty nice details on this guy. You do get a headmaster, and actually I think I put him in here already. So let's take him out and we'll take a look at him. So here is the headmaster. And he's got some paint on him. He's got a little red stripe there, orange for the face, and then the translucent gray for the eyes. Here's the back. You just get the painted face. We'll take a look at that more in the robot mode. He's got some pretty good articulation. His shoulders are on a ball joint, so they rotate around and they go all the way up to there. Head doesn't move or anything. You have a bend at the elbow, goes 90 degrees. I've been leaving out this ab crunch, but there is an actual ab crunch on this guy. More meant for transformation, but you can get an ab crunch on him. The legs are on a ball joint, so it goes in and out a little bit, up to there and back to there. You have a 90-degree bend at the knee, and that's about it for this guy. To get him in the car, though, you do have to bend him at the knee. And again, this is a really nice, tight headmaster, so I'm pretty sure that Dr. Diecast did not mess with this much, because it is nice and new. It feels new. All right, so get his feet kind of bent into this position, and then you can get him sitting. It is a little bit awkward to get him in here, but you can get him in there, and then you can kind of get his hands near the steering wheel, but you can't get them around the steering wheel. It's just actually just a molded piece there, you can see. There is a little bit of detail in here, up here, and a little bit of a dashboard, but mostly it's just some molded pieces there. But you can get them in there, and then you can close this up, and that looks nice. Of course, you get some weapons with this guy. So you get these. Obviously, you want them folded downwards onto this so you can mount them. So there's two ways you can do this. You can put it in just like that if you like that look. It's a little bit more forward on the vehicle. Or they made it so that the entire panel will lift up. So take the guns out, fold it back. It does fit nicely on here. And then you can put those back in. And there it is with the more rear mounted. I think that actually looks better. There is a tiny dab of blue paint here on the top of those guns. That looks nice. And for size comparison, there is Cupola next to the Maketoys version of Point Blank, and then next to Smoke Screens. You can see much larger vehicle. Obviously, they don't scale with Masterpiece cars, but they do scale with each other. And again, these Headmaster vehicles were always bigger than everything else. But if you don't mind that difference in scale, which I kind of do a little bit, but either way, it does look good. It's not going to scale with your Autobot cars. All right, now let's get Cupola transformed into his robot mode. It is not a very fun transformation, but go ahead and take these guns out. Go ahead and open up his canopy here. Or Bobby likes to say can of peas. And take the headmaster out. You're going to take the arms, fold those down straight, and then accordion up his legs, and those are going to peg into the top of the arms right here and here, and that's ready. That's ready to be placed on his head, so you can set that aside. And that's probably the easiest part of this entire thing. Everything else is kind of a pain. Go ahead and take this front piece here, fold that down, and that's just going to sit right there. Open up these flaps here, they're just pegged into the front. And you can actually just leave them kind of hanging out here in the front, where I'll take care of those a little bit later. You can unpeg this entire panel here. So this is pegged into the sides here, and it's actually pegged in two places, so it's pegged in here and here. So we can try to release that. There goes one side. There we go. So once you get that out, you can kind of lift up this hood out of the way. These are going to end up folding inside. Go ahead and take, before I forget, take this hood and collapse it inwards. So you're basically squeezing this in. The plastic doesn't feel too great, so just be a little careful with it. I mean, it is sturdy, it's just not really robust. So just take your time with it. Don't force anything. We can unpeg this from here and here. Come to the back here, we can unpeg this part. Actually, we can close this up too. Put that back in there. It's just going to peg in there. You're going to unpeg these from the sides, and those are going to fold backwards, and that's going to kind of release the legs and give you access to everything. Go ahead and release these dashboard pieces from in here. And now that we got everything kind of loosened up here, we can take out these legs. So come to the bottom here, and you want to unpeg, and this is one of the pieces I really hate on this guy. This ball joint always pops out, but go ahead and take that out. You can just pop that back in. Same on this side. Unpeg this. Okay, I did it that time. I didn't pop it off the ball peg. And that's going to release these back pieces here, so you can kind of start taking them apart. Right? So you can get all this popped out of here. You can see it does kind of just come out in a mess. But that's how he works. Right? So you got those out of there. You can take these and flip them around, close up that top part, extend the arm, and the hand should just sit there. Same on this side. Fold the arm down, fold the top part up, extend, and then push that in. And that's actually one of the easier parts of this entire thing. Come into here, you're going to take these dashboard pieces and fold those inwards. Those are just going to sit in there. And things will probably move out of the way as you're transforming. Unfortunately, that's just how this works. Like this piece, that came undone. Fold this here at this joint so you can see it's a pretty strong joint there. It's going to fold all the way to the other side. All right. Just leave that there for now. We can kind of clean up the legs first. So unpeg this panel from the side, both sides. Unpeg from here as well. That'll give you some room. You can fold this inside his leg. It's just going to sit there in that cavity. Then we're going to take this entire piece, and this is going to fold down and become his foot. So you're going to take this piece, fold it down into there, and that's basically one leg. All right, do the other part here, fold that in, fold that down into here. It doesn't really peg together, it just kind of sits there. Take this part, fold this down, that's going to make the bottom of the foot. Alright, next we'll take care of this chest area, which is just a giant mess. Go ahead and take these front of the car panels, and those are going to get into here. And make sure you have these panels pushed in until they're pegged in. And let's see, what's the easiest way to show you is from here. So these panels are going to peg in to the sides of this gray piece. So you have to get that in, otherwise you won't be able to do anything else. So once you get that in, these two pieces, now you can take this chest piece and fold this down. Get these two pieces, and that's going to peg into the sides of the chest pieces you just pegged in. You might need to hold it. It's just, none of it feels good, to be honest. Right. Oh, and we don't have this right. Okay, there we go. So get those pegged in on the sides. Now you can take this and fold this up, and that's going to peg into the back. Like that. Just give those a little press. All of this feels a little loose, so just be careful with it. Don't put too much pressure on. Take these panels. These are going to fold down, so you got to get down into here and pressed into the side there. Same on this side, down and pressed in. Rotate the fist to the right side. Come to these wheels here. These can rotate to the back, like that. Same on this side. Rotate these wheels to the back. And it just kind of sits on his hips. Now we can take these pieces, put them back on, although they'll probably pop off again. But they're supposed to go on here. And yeah, I hate these pieces. And this is literally why I had problems with the first one. But if you do it right, you should be able to get it kind of centered like that. So same on this side, just get those panels flipped around the right direction. Yeah, these feet are still a problem. Right. And of course the finishing touch is to take the headmaster and get him pegged into there. And there we have Cupola all transformed up into his robot mode as best as we can get it. And pretty good looking. Although there are some unsightly panels here and there. From the front, we do have some paint details. You got a little bit of paint here on the crotch. The same white and red shows up here. You do have the headmaster gimmick where it's got the speed, strength, intelligence rating there. It doesn't actually do anything. It's painted on. That's fine. The only other real paint detail is down here on the legs and then on the orange face and the blue eyes. But that's it. There's not really a lot going on in terms of detail and paint. You do get some articulation here, so the head does rotate. Same as the other headmasters, rotates inside the neck. And then you can move that entire neck piece down to get him looking down, which is a good feature there. Arm rotates all the way around on a ball joint. I hate when they do stuff like this because you've got a ball joint and then you've got a pin joint. And both the ball joint and pin joint are loose, so you end up with you have a butterfly joint, but it doesn't feel great. You have a shoulder bend here that can go up to there. You have a rotation at the bicep. You have a single jointed elbow. Gets you basically 90 degrees. You can see me fighting with this thing. You have a rotation at the wrist. Single pin for the hands. And sculpted hand, but individual fingers don't move. You have a rotation at the waist. You do kind of have to move this out of the way to get it all the way around. You do get that waist. No ab crunch on this guy. The legs rotate up to here. Now, these hip skirts actually don't move out of the way. They're actually locked in place. So, because of that, the leg collides. What a terrible design. It does go backwards more, but it doesn't go forward past that. And then it goes out to the side, maybe one click until it collides with these wheels. So, I don't know. That's just poor design. I really don't know what to say. I guess you could put the wheels down like this, and that would give you a little bit more. And this has started to bring back the bad memories that I had with the KO. But continuing onwards, we have a rotation at the thigh. It is ratcheted. It's very tight though. You have a single jointed knee. You can see the foot's falling apart. 90 degrees. You have an ankle tilt on a horrible joint here. It's a pin joint, so you can get it back to there, down to there. This piece often pops off, as you saw during transformation. And also, there's not enough tension here to hold, so a lot of times as you're posing, he just falls down on those ankles. But you do have a little bit of ankle tilt and ankle pivot. Just doesn't work very well. And these panels constantly getting in the way. So that's it for his articulation. You can use the weapons, of course. Flip this down. You do have that rail system for the hands, which I like. And those will fit in very nicely. And he can hold on to those. Or if you don't like that and you want it stored, you can keep it on this side and on this back here. You can, I think this way actually, the best way. And now you can store the weapons on his back. And for a size comparison, there is Cupola next to his buddy Iron Will, Maketoys version of Hardhead, and the MP44 Optimus Prime. Fits in good. He's a little bit shorter than MP44, a little bit taller than Hardhead. So good size for MP scale. So final thoughts on Cupola here. Let's start with the positives. I do really like the look and color of the Headmaster in both the robot mode and the head mode. It just looks nice. I do like the vehicle mode. I think the vehicle mode looks good, and it's got some nice features with the canopy, the mounting weapons, all of that's nice. That's really it for the positives. Negatives wise, there's a lot. So number one is just kind of very plain. There's not a lot of accents on this guy. You got a little bit of gray paint here, white and red here, and that's it. The rest of the plain brown and beige plastic, I guess you have a little bit of silver here too. It's just very boring. It needs some breakup. You definitely are going to need some repro labels if you're going to have this in your collection, or something, some extra paint, something. And then the QC issues are killing this figure. The ankles are loose. These panels pop off the ball joints. These panels are constantly getting in the way as you're posing him. These panels are loose here. It's supposed to do this, but it just kind of pushes itself back down. So it just doesn't feel great in hand. And then it also is just kind of difficult and annoying to pose because of those issues. So at $150 price point, which is the original price or the price you can buy right now on TF Source, I don't recommend it for that price. I think it's just too much for the level of QC issues it has. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.